We have quite the interesting mystery on our hands here, everyone, that I've been toying around with and trying to get to the bottom of in the background with this most recent update, and that is one of the only original two legendary brawlers, Spike, has gone missing. Before we get into the very interesting mystery here that has pretty much so gone under the radar for most people inside of the community, it's very important to go over Spike's influence here in the game overall. He is a very interesting character in Brawl Stars. When it comes to lore inside of Brawl Stars, I would say Spike has some of the deepest ties in lore. As I stated before, Spike is one of the original two legendary brawlers that was first released into Brawl Stars when Brawl Stars was created amongst the original cast. At the time, there were no really interesting things about Spike that was catching the eyes of people inside of the game because it was actually quite regular that characters in the games didn't have voice lines. And people weren't really thinking that much about Spike not getting his own voice lines because some of the other brawlers weren't getting theirs as well. People just chalked it up that Spike was just kind of put on the back burner when it came to that thing. However, to this day, Spike has yet to be given a voice line. He is the only voiceless brawler inside of Brawl Stars. I'm sure you guys can hear me tapping to get the voice lines. There are none. Now, this one thing alone has single-handedly positioned Spike into the vantage point of several individuals inside the community when it comes to really strange things with his character. Maybe being a bit more important than other people when it comes to lore or just significance inside of the game, which, of course, if anyone would dive a little bit deeper trying to investigate that, they would discover that, yeah, Spike has quite a lot of importance when it comes to lore and just Brawl Stars IP in general. The Brawl Stars dev team seems to be infatuated with Spike when it comes to promotional assets and just Easter eggs littered throughout the game to a point where it seems to be intentional. I mean, come on, the Easter eggs are quite insane when we see things popping up like this, a random Spike sock in the beginning of the Brawl Pass every single season, kind of hard to get to. Now, nothing at this point is truly confirmed as to why Spike might be one of the more important characters here in this game, but we do have very interesting theories and things to go off of, all stemming from Star Park lore and the Invest in the Future video. It is said and widely theorycraft that Spike has a much more important influence over the lore inside of Brawl Stars. Spike seeming to be a little bit more on the ominous side of things when it comes to lore, voiceless and kind of scary. But a theory that makes the most sense to individuals inside the community is Spike is a good guy, almost as if he's an informant or someone trying to infiltrate the inner workings of Star Park to try to put an end to it. Within the Brawl Stars universe itself, stemming from the investor video and several other context clues here, is he is a complex mystery, a character in the game that doesn't seem to fit very well with the other brawlers inside of Brawl Stars. And I believe this is all for a very specific purpose, and I think Tyrannical Turnip, one of the most successful theory crafters when it comes to Star Park lore, nails it right on top of the head.
I think it's fitting now that we talk about who and or what Spike is. He's always been the most mysterious, and it's definitely obvious. I mean, look at him. In nearly every single post, he's just there, sitting quietly in the background. Even Ranter brings it up.
I gotta tell you this much right now. The cactus ain't what he says he is. It was just kind of a weird vibe.
Just all around, he seems, well, wrong. What do I think he is? I think that Spike is a spy that has infiltrated Star Park Union, a reminder that Spewed is also referred to as the Mascot Union, a reminder that Star Park only has two mascots, one being Mr. P and the other being Spike, and at the end of the investor video, there's only one mascot standing, and I mean that quite literally, as in Mr. P is lying face first on the ground. In any case, look at the webmaster. On the second email sent, it states, "Some things have come delayed and communications cannot be trusted and or trusted." If you recall, I noted that things that are important are repeated more than once, and guess what's repeated twice here? Why else would communications be not trusted or believed unless they had a spy in their midst? And we know that Spike was part of Spewed, because guess what the woman who delivered the package was wearing? a cactus mask resembling Spike.
It is believed and proposed that Spike is actually a spy, infiltrating the inner workings of Star Park and trying to get to the bottom of the evil deeds that are going on there. So it would explain quite well, in my opinion, some of the more peculiar things that Spike represents and does inside of the Brawl Stars community, and why he has such an importance here when it comes to lore, backstory, and him plastered everywhere. He's a little bit more important than most characters in this game. So with a little bit of the lore touched upon when it comes to Spike, it is now time to get straight away into the current situation. Spike has gone missing, one of the most important plot points when it comes to storytelling from this most recent update that I think not a whole lot of people picked up on. Believe it or not, Spike's eventual missingness from Brawl Stars was first Easter egged to us within the Ghost Station update. In a specific animation that was released when Buster first came to the game, he was venturing throughout the Ghost Station trying to save Gus from several different scary things happening within the Ghost Station. But on a specific frame towards the end, we see a few different posters popping up, one of which got more attention than the others. But if we take a look here, we see the Spike missing poster. Now this was quite some time ago. As I said before, this was during the Ghost Station update. Now at the time, people definitely noticed the poster, but kind of just written it off. Nothing really came of it. He was fine within the game itself, and he was fine within the Brawl Stars universe, the lore. But what I think the main purpose of this poster during the animation was a first glimpse of a future Easter egg coming out around the corner, now being seen during present day within this most recent update. Even after the first sighting of that missing poster was found during the Buster animation, he was popping up in a few different posts from time to time. I would argue not as often as he normally would be. He's just not there as often, which is peculiar. On a few different occasions, he's been popping up, much like in this photo here. In this Last of Us poster, he's in the background, though could be argued that this isn't necessarily lore-based. But scrolling through the different photos that have been posted, he's just not there as often as he once was. In a photo of a ton of different brawlers fighting, you would expect Spike to pop up here. In memes, he's popping up still though. In different orientations, he's popping up, and even examples much like this in a very heavy lore related photo, he is still there, not in person but in a puzzle form. He's popping up in this photo here, not really in person but a plushie, so it's safe to say he is still having an appearance in some of these photos and an importance. But where things start to get interesting and kind of come to a climax is with the release of this most recent update. When the update first came out, we were hit with the loading screen, which several individuals noticed something really interesting, but not really jumped upon it when it came to theory crafting, and that is oodles and oodles of Spike missing posters here displayed on the loading screen itself, and having quite a big presence within the loading screen, I might add. Now, it's really important to point out, when it comes to Brawl Stars loading screens for a brand new update, they display the most important key elements of that update. Whether it's the story being told, the new brawlers more than likely have an appearance within it, significant skins, but mainly the lore. As you guys can see in the background, we can see some of the key features that were released with this update. So it's safe to assume that this was very intentional to be placed here, a Spike missing poster. And it has some sort of importance if it made the actual loading screen. But the main question is, and the reason I think a lot of people weren't necessarily talking about it, is where is Spike missing from? He's still playable in the game, there's nothing wrong with him there. But really the only way to determine where Spike is missing from is to wait and try to figure it out in time. After waiting quite some time since this most recent update has been released, I think we have a pretty good theory where Spike is missing from. And that is all photos that normally make sense for Spike to pop up in, he's gone from. And based off that, it could be speculated that he is missing from the the lore itself. Scrolling through some of the most recent posts here when it comes to advertising that Spike most definitely pops up in, he is nowhere to be seen. Not even a shred of Spike memorabilia in the background, where if Spike isn't present, most of the time we see resemblances of him like a Spike sock. But nope, there is nothing at all Spike related. We've got nothing here in this photo. We've got nothing here in this photo. Where's Spike, man? Spike popping up here, but not necessarily for lore related things. It's just a advertisement, I believe, for a game that was coming in. What is it? Silent Hill 5 or something like that? But dude, hey, quite fitting for the situation that's at hand. Spike in a very eerie depiction. But Spike not here, nor there. He is nowhere to be seen. Not in here, not here, not there. Not anywhere, dude. Even getting to some of the most recent photos that have been posted here within the Brawl Stars community, Spike is nowhere. In all honesty, I think I could have waited a little bit longer for future posts here, but if the theory holds, throughout this entire update and the promotional artwork coming out, I got a feeling we're not going to see Spike popping up at all. If we do, I think this theory can be busted, but it's trying to come to a conclusion or trying to explain where Spike is missing from, and he's not in any of these photos. So I guess the main question is, what does this mean? Number one, I think it can be chalked up that the Brawl Stars dev team is starting to toy around with a little bit here more often Star Park and hinting at lore, making it a bit more apparent. Even if it's not 100% coming back, they are really hinting at it heavily here. Another really interesting theory or potential is Spike has some sort of importance here when it comes to lore. I think it's really interesting that Spike could have been captured to a degree, seeing that he's missing, and if he's our only spy on the inside trying to figure out the wrongdoings of Star Park, he's our only good guy on the inside, it'd be quite problematic if that happened, and might be a good reason to bring Star Park lore back. And number three, just some of the things that I'm toying around with. It might be interesting seeing that we are getting closer and closer to April 1st. We might be getting some other additional information on that, seeing that it's April Fool's Day. But other than that, it is truly hard to tell what the meaning of this is and what the significance of this is. And I would love for the conclusion of this video to be a nice open-ended discussion or forum here. Make sure to let me know in the comments down below what you guys are thinking. What do you think Spike is missing from, and why do you think it is so important within this update? But that is just about all I got for y'all here in this episode today, an ongoing mystery uncovered with this update that I found incredibly intriguing. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed it, found it interesting. If you did, make sure to slap a like on it. I'd really appreciate that. Once again, be sure to let me know what you guys are thinking. I would love to hear your theories. I'm just one person at the end of the day, but thanks for watching. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you all in the next one. Adios and take care.